Hey guys, welcome back. For those of you on the pod, and for those on YouTube, welcome to Tuesday. Hope you all are well. Or Wednesday. I've already decided. Probably Wednesday. Um, if you guys did not come from the pod and are now hearing this for the first time, we should have content next for you guys next week with something along the lines of trivia, unless I come up with some other random category to do some content over. That being said, we're gonna look at the Champions League group stages now. Please like, subscribe, follow, all of the above. Your support since we've started to upload on YouTube has been amazing. We are averaging over 1,000 impressions a month, which is honestly great. We love you guys so much and thank you guys for your support. That being said, gonna get straight into it. So, last week's games were fantastic. And thus, we will start on the Tuesday. The early game, Dortmund 2-0 versus Newcastle, where Dortmund absolutely pacified Newcastle and Julian Brand ran the show. Fulkrug obviously opened the scoring before Brand scored. And yeah, like I said, Brand was man in the match. Are we now? And then now the later game, which was AC Milan, 1-1. Yeah, bro, dog, Brand celebration was hella cool. And then Milan 1-1 against PSG, where Milan ran the show and PSG scored off our corner. But after that, it was basically Milan until they scored. Then they conceded possession and just defended out the game as Mbappe, Colomani, and Dembele all go missing when they are needed. And thus, the table stands at Dortmund are now in first with 7 points. PSG are second with 6 points. Milan are third with 5, and Newcastle are fourth with 4. So, how are you feeling, guys?
Dortmund first. How is Dortmund
The
first?
side that we all kind of had to finish last, eh?
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, I actually think I might have had Newcastle last and Dortmund third, but somewhere between those two. But yeah,
I mean, that's
crazy.
cool, but first,
I
how is Dortmund
Yeah,
first?
that's
I had
insane.
I had thrown a crazy shout, and the highest I put Dortmund and say what if Dortmund finish second, Newcastle first, but this Dortmund first it's real strange to see it though.
Yep.
It is the group of death, Dortmund come out on top.
What the one, yes.
So, how we feeling about these teams, guys?
Yeah.
I think Dortmund, indicative of the fact that they are now first, has shown that they have actually gone from strength to strength in this tournament. They lost on the opening day, then drew at home to AC Milan, and then went and did the double over Newcastle in the double header. And I think that puts Dortmund, and I do think Dortmund and PSG are in the strongest positions. Reason being, Dortmund are beaten head to head with Newcastle either way. So that's a one team that can't beat them anymore. Even if Newcastle win their next game, they head to head against. If Newcastle only win one of the next two next games, they can't finish ahead of Dortmund. If Dortmund lose the next two games, it doesn't matter. Head to head over goal difference. And then PSG now, they have the head to head as it stands over AC Milan and over Dortmund. So if there is a scenario where it does come down to level points, they kind of beaten both of them. So that is where I think the two of them have an advantage. However, with the way the games are set up, I think it's set up in a way that Milan, if Leao injury isn't too bad, because he had a phenomenal showing in midweek, bro. Milan does have a good chance here where they have the game at the San Siro next against Dortmund, where if they beat them, they go 8 points, Dortmund on 7, and they put themselves in a really strong position where Dortmund has to still play PSG on the last day. Milan can have some life there. How are we feeling about the group?
But
I still think the PSG shout is alive
Oh,
for
I
third
think so
place.
too. I think so
yeah,
too.
yeah, that's one thing for sure I feel.
And what I
Yeah.
would say in your
I'm
favor, Pax,
looking.
is that every single time PSG have gone away from home, they've honestly looked, to say
Yeah,
average is praising them. To say average is honestly praising
yeah.
them. They have not looked good.
So the dream is alive. PSG for Euro 2024. Are looking good. I think Dortmund, just to give a quick tactical analysis of Dortmund, look, the game is very easy. You put full Krug on the field, score, and then you try to concede less than you score. And
Yeah.
that's how the game is won. Simple. Who would have known it takes such a genius to figure this out? I couldn't tell you anymore.
I
I'll
think
just
the
have to
odds are
see.
really stacked against Newcastle now, though. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah, I
really
feel
tough for
Newcastle
them.
out.
Like
Feel
Newcastle
the
have to,
outside there.
they have to go to PSG next. I honestly feel it real
Yeah.
unlikely that they come out with even a point. I find it hard to see that they come out with a point from the Parc des Princes, and thus that
Yeah.
would, I think that actually does eliminate them from from
Yeah.
Probably would. Yeah.
the only
But
thing that
I
would
need them
save
to
them.
draw.
Actually, no, I they it don't matter, boy. Even if Newcastle draw, right, they would be on 5. PSG would be on 7, and Newcastle, even if
But how much is
Dortmund,
Milan on though? How much is
Milan
Milan
on
on?
5, right?
Yeah,
Even if
I'm 5 right
Dortmund
now.
draw, Dortmund could then put itself on 8, right? Which means that even if Newcastle win their last game, they can't finish above Dortmund either way, even if Dortmund
True.
lose. And PSG
Yeah.
No, that's
last,
okay. I
that's
just trying to
okay.
figure out how PSG could come to it. So what needs to happen? So PSG needs a draw with Newcastle at home because
So,
Newcastle probably not going to beat them.
well, actually,
And
what
Milan need to
could
beat
happen
Dortmund.
is that could happen. Milan beat Dortmund at
Mm-hmm.
the San Siro, and then PSG lose away to Dortmund on the last day,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
which is that honestly is very probable.
Which is
Yeah,
very,
that's
very
very
real
real.
for sure.
And
I mean, either way, I think Newcastle gone, but the PSG dream is alive. It's
and
definitely alive.
I actually
Yeah.
really believe in more and more in a scenario where Milan and Dortmund come out of this group. And
Yeah.
it's
Could
I
you
think it's down
imagine?
to Milan, you know. I think it's down to Milan and how much they really want it. Because dog,
Yeah.
that game midweek, dog, that midfield performance is exactly what you want in UCL. Be
Hmm.
compact, win the leg you use, and then be excellent in transition. Dog Loftus Cheek was insane. He
Yeah.
was
Look at
fantastic
that.
that game,
Yeah.
boy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Musa
Yeah.
was fantastic. Rainiers was fantastic. Dog, that is what you want in a Champions League game. Fantastic, sitting, win, transition. Great game from them, and
Yeah.
it's just a case of if they could turn it on in the final third. And credit to Giroud, he scored. What was the winner? Leao stepped up, and we've been asking him to step up, and now he has 3 Champions League goals to his game. Congrats. You only have one more than Saka, who made his debut a couple days ago. And so, well done to them. But I think it's in Milan hands. I really do. Because the next game
Yeah.
is against Dortmund is in the San Siro. That should be in their favor 100%. Like, as much as Dortmund have been doing good, like, you have to take charge of your home games, bro. And if they do that, even
Mm-hmm.
more so if they do that then it gonna put pressure on Dortmund to perform at home to PSG on the last day.
Yeah. No, even for that, I literally feel like the best, like Dortmund, like not like obviously yes, it's in first and everything, but just how the fixtures everything, Dortmund are really in the best position honestly because
Yeah.
even for this, because yeah, we talking about for Milan, everybody else have that pressure on them. Like don't get me wrong, everything are going with Milan too is a factor, with the whole Leo injury and everything. AC Milan do this against PSG, but it's still not a case of like okay they do it now and they feel like all right we're in pole position to do it against Dortmund. After what Dortmund show against Newcastle, it's now going to be a case of Milan now going to kind of look at itself like okay can we now continue this against Dortmund and Dortmund really going to be like all right we here all at home all at try and do something if we nick a draw we cool so the pressure is really on I feel like the pressure on everybody else but Dortmund really just chilling at this point
Mm.
because and how the fixtures line up as you mentioned that key thing on paper it's so crazy to say that you're looking at Dortmund's last game being PSG and they're being like okay that might be hard but for Dortmund with everything that PSG have to go through that
Yeah.
looking like that
It
looking like
could be
that's
very
gonna be so good
straightforward.
for Dortmund.
Yeah.
Dortmund could literally
Yeah.
play with PSG for that last game.
And let me tell
And
you,
and
you
Hmm.
that
don't want to play
yeah.
against Dortmund with that Adeyemi fella on the counter. Dog.
Yeah,
It's
when you
Full
need
crew.
something, good dog, and is going to they're going to play with PSG if everything plays that way. So that's it. That's the one thing. So
yeah.
obviously for hoping for Milan, yeah, that's one thing. Milan, but the thing is, Milan now have to. So the pressure on them, they have to they have to play Dortmund in the San Siro and try and recreate that PSG game.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to ask you guys, as it stands, let me get all the standings for this group.
Ah,
Um,
yeah.
Probably Dortmund, Milan, PSG, Newcastle.
That is mine as well.
Yeah,
I believe in them.
I would like a will where Milan finish first, but I'll say things in favor for Dortmund. But you know what? I believe in them. I don't believe in Mr. Pioli so much, but I believe in the team. So I feel like it might be Milan first, Dortmund second, PSG third.
Nice, lovely. Next
Lovely.
early game that day, Shakhtar winning 1-0 against Barcelona.
Mhm.
And what has been a kind of trying time for Barca this last month, bro, honestly. Great header, terrible defending by Barcelona, and the attack continues to be a question for Barca. So, as it stands in that group, Barcelona still remain top on 9. But then Porto are also on 9. Then Shakhtar are
Yeah,
on 6. And in our group where it should have been quite straightforward for Barcelona. That no longer seems to be the case.
yeah.
Patrick,
Yeah.
concerns.
Look, the next game is a big one because that's against Porto
Yeah.
at the camp. So I think that's our chance to seal this group.
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
if we're being honest, no one is losing against Antwerp. So
Uh,
yeah, if we could
Don't
beat
tempt fate,
Porto,
sir.
you
Do
know,
not tempt fate. 'Cause-
I'm telling you now, no one is losing against Ant. They have conceded 11 goals so far. In just 4 games, they've lost every single one of their games.
yeah, there are no
It's all
points.
good,
valid,
fam. It's
valid,
all good. Okay? It's
valid,
fine.
valid, valid.
Trust me. Um, yeah, no points. I don't even know why they show up to the game anymore. Nobody knows why they're traveling. No one
Rude,
knows.
bro. Oh
Yeah.
my
Yeah,
goodness.
them
Um,
could save that. Them could save that airline miles away. I don't know why they're doing
that's what
that.
I'm saying. Forfeits are
Keep
free.
it
Forfeits
going.
are actually
Keep
free.
it going.
But so I that was a crazy game. I mean, I don't really find we played good per se, but not scoring any goals, I don't really know about that. I just think we are a little toothless in the attack, and again, have to come down to Lewandowski. I mean, that guy came here to what was supposed to solve the problem, which is scoring, and I just don't find he's scoring enough. Not in the important moments, at least. Obviously, he just won a game for us. That's great,
But it's still not enough.
but
It's still not enough.
I've It's not. It'll sound like I'm being picky, but it's really not. It's not enough because he is the experienced guy. He is the Ballon d'Or snub and so on and so forth. The Bundesliga hero or all the Champions League winner, so on and so forth. All these accolades as a brilliant number 9. I just haven't really seen his brilliance. I can't remember a month where I could say like, yeah, world beater. It would be like a game where he scores some nice goals and whatever, and I'll just go back to being basic after
Um,
that. And I think the club just needs more. And if the solution to that is to just send him to Saudi, where he might belong at this point, then so be it. And try to get maybe a younger guy that not so proven and a little bit hungrier to
yeah.
prove
To be
himself.
fair, y'all have signed one
Not
already.
Ferran Torres.
No, but y'all have signed one
Not.
already. It's just he didn't get to make his debut. I think he's supposed to come in January in Roque.
Mhm. I don't know much about him, so I guess we'll have to see.
Well, you asked
But
for
yeah,
unproven.
but
You
no,
don't get much more unproven than a Brazilian star.
I
True.
mean that wasn't the type of unproven I was thinking. I was more thinking along the lines of like someone who kind of on the brink,
I have a question.
but
How you
and,
not
and
feel
still
about
and still kind of hungry.
how you not feel about if let's send Lewa to Saudi in January and sign Ivan Tony?
That's fine with me. I think Tony is enough of a soul to come in here and shake it up a little bit. I was even thinking like Armando Broya just makes so much sense, like given the injury prone history and all that.
Sorry.
Like
Oh, Jesus
it fits the
Christ.
bill just perfectly.
Okay,
So
so let me keep it stepping, right? However, the question I need
mm,
to ask the don't pass is that given this loss, that there is obviously a path where you all make this straightforward. In fact, there's a path for every team or most groups to still make it straightforward that they come out of their groups, right? However,
except Antwerp.
we are yeah. I said almost, bro. Give my chance.
I just put it out there. Big
But
one.
we are sitting here with our coach who is yet to make it out of the group stage. And again, people will level questions at other managers. This is a coach that, to be fair, has had some rough group stages to deal with so far. This is a straightforward one now where we sit in
Yeah.
a position where there's a real chance that he could finish second in this group. There still exists a
Yeah.
scenario he could finish third, you know? And
True.
thus, should questions be asked of Xavi at this point?
Sure. I don't think he should be shielded from questions and concerns. Hard to tell how much of this is down to him and how much is down to the players. I feel like most of the times he's get the lineup right. I think the rotation does be more or less good too. Obviously, if he get hit with some injuries, he needs to stop trusting in these Frenchmen. But apart from that, like it comes down to guys are not bitter enough in the attack. Ferran, I mean, dog. Sometimes he's okay. Sometimes he's like fully Gattuso, dog. Like I don't want to go there and say the word, but to make
Sometimes.
you not have to bleep.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's like sometimes just get off, blood, and other times I don't know. So
Um,
yeah, and then João Felix, like yeah, he's nice, could
he's not
dribble,
good. He's not good
okay.
enough. He's not good enough.
He's not going to score more than 6 goals in the season though, and Lamine is literally 16
Yeah, you
and
can't get.
plays like he's 16.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Virgil.
and and and, and that Brazilian fella, that's Rafinha, dog. If it's not a long ball, it's nothing. By if it's, I doesn't understand. Honestly, doesn't understand. Like I don't know what's going on. It real hard. I'd pull my hair out if I had a little bit more.
Virgil.
Pedri come back though, so I
Yeah,
think we
that's
safe.
good. That's good. Virgil, you feel any scenario where Barca don't come out this group or they gonna come out regardless? And there's more a case of
Nah, but
probably questioning them at the round of 16 stage.
yeah, Barca come out regardless. It just from last week we talk about Barca going against Shakhtar Donetsk, and it felt like it would have been good Lewandowski back in Germany and everything, but it didn't play out that way. But honestly, all Barca did was just make it harder, just make it harder for themselves. But it not
Yes.
the outcome going to be the same regardless.
Cool.
Yeah, I
All
mean,
right.
I could see a world where Porto beat us though, because somehow Porto playing real good. I thought this was gonna be a real easy and straightforward group, and Porto are playing too good. So
No,
I
that,
wouldn't
that's
be
all.
surprised if
That's
Porto beat
all.
us.
That's what Porters be. Porters once Porter in our group like this, Porters always do something to surprise. But that's Porto
Yeah.
have that luck in Champions League.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't know. As much as I say I wouldn't be surprised if they beat us, I'll also be kind of surprised because Porto, like in Spain,
Keeping it in
come on.
Spain though. Next up we have Atletico winning 6-0 against Celtic as again Griezmann continues to
Yeah,
be top three player in the world at this point. Possibly,
Come on, though. It was the Marathon show, though.
But it was
That
a
was the
Morata
Marathon
show.
show.
It was a Morata show. With his 2 goals,
Yeah.
yeah.
should have been an assist and Patrick that the UEFA didn't give him. For what
It
reason?
was an assist that the fantasy literally just destroyed me.
But
It was an assist.
the most surprising one in that game was Immobile scored his first goal from open play since the opening day of the season for Lazio. And they won 1-0
Mm.
against Feyenoord in a game where honestly Feyenoord had real throw in that game. If I'm being so real, Feyenoord hella throw in this game. But that leaves me more than encouraged to say that as we kind of just run through this one group, I think Atletico probably will come out on top. But I see
For
enough
sure.
anytime for Feyenoord that Feyenoord will come out second. I think they should.
Yeah, because Celtic and Lazio look real bad way. So,
Yeah, they do.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I expect that when Atletico face off against Lazio, that they beat them. And I expect Feyenoord
Yeah.
to get points against Celtic, and that should be enough
Yeah.
for Feyenoord to
That
be
should
able
be
to
it.
come out second in the group. Cool, nice. Moving on again.
Factos.
Then we have the next game that day was the City group. City won 3-0 against Young Boys. Haaland scored twice, and Foden scored in his normal time after the game basically done. And then you have
Mhm.
Leipzig winning 2-1 against Red Star Belgrade. And thus, in that
Yeah.
group, it all feels basically done. Because City are
Yeah,
top
Yeah.
with
because
12 points, four games, 4 wins. Real Leipzig with 9, the other two games with one apiece, and both teams have therefore qualified. Obviously, there exists a
yeah.
scenario where Leipzig could come out first, but it feels extremely unlikely at this point in time. I don't see it, especially because I believe that next game, Virgil can correct me if I'm wrong, that it's in the Etihad. If it was probably going to Germany,
Yeah,
I'd
and
probably
yeah,
give them
and
possibly
yes,
a
yeah.
fighting chance, but yeah, don't see it at all. Any points you want to leave it, Virgil? It has been
Um,
relatively straightforward for you.
yeah, this has been straightforward. So it just really coming down to, as I said, this is a chance for Leipzig, but
Leipzig has been quite
yeah,
entertaining this season so far, though. You
yeah.
have anything to add on them?
Now honestly, Leipzig has been real good. Is I mean, we know everybody love talking about Javi Simmons, and everybody love talking about
Yeah,
him. But what's the other guy? Is Openda?
yeah.
Man,
Open
I've
that
been
has
good.
Yeah,
both of them actually
damn,
have 11 goals and assists in the Bundesliga this season.
damn
Yeah. And
dogs.
Round been good too.
Yeah,
I
he
I
has.
He
I
left back.
I glad. I'm very glad that they were in our group, so we able to we still able to see them play. Cause I like when Pep see them one on one with Pep in person. Pep could just write on the list for possible transfers for next season. I
Nice.
like those things, but honestly,
Douche.
I'm glad we play them now because I want to see them in round of 16. I want to see them.
Cool. Nice. Next group. Next day. The early game was Napoli 1-1 with Union Berlin, as I believe that this was Union Berlin's first point in the
Yep.
Champions League. Yeah, it was. And thus gives
Congratulations.
Real Madrid the biggest point gap they could ask for, and thus more or less confirming that they will be finishing top of this group.
Yeah.
Even though mathematically Napoli still have a chance, it feels extremely unlikely. And thus, yeah, Real Madrid had a 3-0 win as well. It felt very standard. But Napoli themselves have been concerning, as we said in the pod itself, that Rudy Garcia looks to be about sack. Napoli would have to hire somebody to replace him, obviously. And hopefully, Napoli, we go into the knockout stage and see more of them. Anything you guys want to touch on? Real
The only
won
thing I
twice
want to
this week
say,
without Jude. That was a big thing for them. I think that shows that they are more than
yeah,
just
Yes.
good this season.
that's true. But the only thing I want to just add, because Madrid did that already done. The only thing I want to add is for like Napoli, Napoli season kind of like shaky right now. But it's similar to also Barca right now. They make it difficult for themselves because like even for everything, they had to play Madrid because if they had beat that Union Berlin, things would have been smooth sailing for Napoli. They had to play
Yeah.
Madrid. Madrid okay. Madrid won the points. And don't get me wrong, yeah, Braga. I think Braga. It's not wouldn't be a turnover for Napoli. I don't think so.
Yeah,
But I feel like it's gonna be interesting for Napoli. It's gonna be interesting. But I really expect them to make it out of the group.
nice, cool. Anything, Pat?
Nah, I feel it more or less straightforward. The Braga thing, we yeah, I guess we'll have to see how that play off because Braga should beat Union Berlin,
Yeah,
and then
going to the
Hmm.
Europa League
I mean Napoli probably going to lose to Real Madrid as well. Yeah, it could come down to Napoli versus Braga.
on the last
That
day.
might decide it.
Yeah,
That might
That'll
very
decide
be
it.
real.
that'll be good to watch.
That would be
Yep.
a good watch, actually. Yeah, cool, nice. Moving on. Next early game, Real Sociedad totally overran Benfica. This score should have actually been a lot more.
Yeah, boy.
And Benfica,
Hmm.
Yeah,
I'm
because
not.
penalty miss all kind of thing.
Yeah, Benfica did not put on their best show in the Champions League on the whole this season, but these Real Sociedad players really have been turning up. Um,
Yeah.
Obviously the one that takes the headlines is somebody like Kubo, but he didn't even score this game. You have players like Bernixia and Oyazabal stepping
Yeah.
up for them. You have Bryce Mendes, who, despite missing a pen, continues to perform for them. And Mikel Marino, you know, he's been good
Hmm.
for a few
Marino is
seasons now.
class, bro.
And like
For
people
sure.
Marino is class.
would know his name from a very poor spell at Newcastle a couple of years ago, but this entire team screams class like Zubimendi has been linked all over the place recently. But
Lynn Normand is good too,
yeah, I fully expect
but
this
he's
team
French.
to, and then Ramiro in goal, bro.
He's good.
I
Spanish.
actually genuinely would
Spanish
like.
goalkeepers. Spanish goalkeepers have been sus recently though.
I know, but
Raya,
I think keepers in
Kepa.
general, as we talk about in the last part, like I don't think it have that much top class keepers in the world right now, and he is one that has impressed me. So, and he's 6'4", bro. Like I fed up what is 5'11", 6 foot
True.
keeper thing. So, yeah,
You know, funny enough about Lynn Norman, he was actually injured for just about the whole season. He just came back from injury about 2 games ago, 2 Champions League games ago.
nice.
So yeah,
And on the
the
other
trend
hand,
continues.
um, Martinez scored a penalty for Inter to beat Salzburg 1-0, and thus Real and Inter actually tied on points with 10.
Should have been Hakan.
Both will go through the champions to the knockout. It's just a question of who finishes top, who finishes second. I kind of
Right.
expect Inter to quote unquote put it right in the next game against Real Sociedad, but Real have been playing so good, especially in the Champions League. The league form has been kind of here, kind of there, but especially in the Champions League, I wouldn't put it past Real Sociedad to manage to stay on top of them to go into the knockout stages.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick, anything?
I actually kind of expect Sociedad to win the group.
Yeah.
Um,
But then
but
we looking at
Inter has been playing. Inter's been playing really good though. I think they've been playing better in the league than in Champions League. I'll just say that part. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think Champions League form Sociedad look prime for me. We actually have a next team in this group that lost every single game. Maybe they need to stay home as well and not bother to travel. And that's very surprising because
yeah,
with Di Maria and stuff moving over to the team, I really thought
nice
Benfica
form.
was gonna look
Yeah.
good.
And then the interesting thing about the Inter Real game is that because of what lies on that game, this is a group that is actually going to go to the final day. Because yeah, I think both teams might actually be maybe not be willing to risk rotating on the match day 5, but it's the last days when Inter plays Real Sociedad at
Yeah,
Inter, which
that's
is
gonna
why
be
I think
good.
it favors Inter. That is the reason why I think it favors Inter, because it is at the San Siro. So
Fair enough.
yeah, cool, nice. Moving on. Arsenal win 2-0 against Sevilla, and honestly, I've been fully impressed with all our Champions League performances. Obviously,
Yeah.
except the loss, but like even in that, it was kind of weird. It was a real weird loss. They scored 2 really good goals and didn't really do much outside of that. But I think like our defensive solidarity really would come to the fore in the Champions League. And if we can maintain that in the knockout stages, then could do for us to have a decent run in the knockout itself. And I mean, when we look at you know Javi struggling in his third season in the Champions League. Anyhow, we talking about the adjustment to the Champions League life and how it has hit them in admittedly a harder group, and obviously United clearly falling apart. You have Arsenal who has managed to be only 1 point off of the top of their league. Sorry, already playing a lot of big hitters in the league, and they are also top of the Champions League group. And I believe a point in the next game would be enough for them to seal top spot, already being qualified as well. So, and Saka has most goals and assists, I believe, or joined most goals and assists in the Champions League this season. And actually, I don't feel that's true. I feel Haaland probably have more, or Mbappe or something. But he up there though
Maybe
with 10 goals and
Lewandowski.
assists.
Not Lewandowski. I mean Kane. Maybe Kane.
Oh yeah, that is who I was looking for. Thank you. It's Kane.
Goals and assists.
Yeah.
Kane and Morata tied, and then Haaland,
How much they have?
and I don't know where Saka
How
falls.
much do they have?
Goals plus assists.
Yeah.
Kane and Morata have 6 each.
Oh, then
Erling
Saka have
have
five.
5.
Saka have 5.
Hoyland have 5. Saka also have 5.
Yeah. Cool. Nice. Um, and
That's
then the
good.
and then the other game in this group is PSV actually won 1-0 against Lens, which actually did shake up the group a little bit because then now PSV leapfrogged them to go back into second. Lens are in third so they are 5 points each, and thus both have a lot to play for. Um,
Yeah.
the next game for Lens is away to Arsenal, which is why I don't think it's in their favor as much right now. Because then PSV has to visit Sevilla. However, what is in Lens' favor is the fact that Sevilla want to finish in that Europa League spot, so they definitely want to pick up some points. So yeah, what's all your thoughts, guys?
Yeah. Um, Not sure if Sevilla are going to finish second or third. Honestly, not sure. It is a sticky group. Arsenal definitely win, but after that, it is a sticky group. This is gonna be an interesting one to see who come out in second. I'm not
Oh,
sure
you
who it
put your,
could be. It
put all your
between
money on to finish second right now.
Honestly, I feel if I do it, I would rather say PSV.
I'm leaning towards PSV.
I lean
Even
towards
Sevilla have
PSV
a
too,
chance
honestly.
though.
I don't see the
Sevilla have a
Sevilla because
chance.
honestly, the games that we played against Sevilla, I generally wasn't impressing. Like,
No,
I mean,
yes,
I know it's
yeah,
us,
you
right?
see me this chance,
But
yeah.
still, I somehow see them scraping up enough point to get that third spot and put somebody in a real sour mood for getting 5 points and not even finishing third. But
Mm-hmm.
But remember this, right? Is that I think they were scraping off points too, which means scraping points means
they beat
beating.
somebody,
They
yeah.
play PSV next, right?
They pay
Means
PSV.
beating
Yeah.
PSV.
I think they lose to
Right.
PSV.
Beating PSV, they go level on points with PSV
What
now.
does it think? I think they lose to
And
PSV.
Lens, oh, you think they losing to
I
PSV?
think they beat Lens
Okay.
on the final
Well,
day. Actually, no.
would that be
Actually,
enough?
no. I'll flip that around. I think they'll beat PSV, and I think they'll lose to Lens because again, I just think home games are so important in the Champions League, and Sevilla play at home next. Unless I'm mistaken, they do play at home next to PSV. Yes, they do, and then they have to play away to Lens on the last day, and I feel that could mean that PSV end up finishing last in the group, and that there's space for Lens to finish second.
That's so crazy. I go into back Sevilla to finish second
I'm going for
by
Lens.
mistake.
So we all have three. We have three different ones. That is so
Yeah.
lovely. Nice. Cool. All right. Let me go through this and start to wrap it up. Next up,
Yes,
we
please.
have the group that
I was waiting for
everybody
this one.
loves to. All right, this is the last group. Nice. This is Bayern
Yeah.
versus Galatasaray. Where, dog, honestly, Galatasaray have given a great account of themselves in this Champions League. They've been great in every game. Honestly,
Yeah.
they've been really good. And why
Yeah.
I think that they will go through. And then you have the game with everything in it, which was FC Copenhagen 4, Man United 3, where Hoyland scored twice, put them 2-0 in the lead. Rashford got a red card that I don't understand how is. Well, not that I don't understand how it's a red. I just think it's extremely harsh that it is a red.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
pivoted the game because then they went into halftime 2-all. Then Fernandez got a fluky penalty, scored it. Then Copenhagen got a penalty that was fluky as well. Oh no, wait, Copenhagen penalty was first. But that was fluky as well. I didn't think that was a pen either. And then Copenhagen managed to go 3-all in the 83rd minute. And then goal scorer, which is so cool because it is Manchester United, right? Scorer off in the 87th minute. Name was Rooney or Ronnie, but it looks like Rooney to put them up
Those are
4-3.
really.
And what was a kamikaze
Yep.
game. And now the table
Yep.
sits at United are last, Copenhagen are second on away goals, actually, above
Mm-hmm.
Galatasaray. And Bayern are first with 12, obviously Bayern are through, but then is all to play for second. Thoughts, guys?
Yeah,
That game
honestly,
was as.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna speak on that too. I was gonna say, yeah, because from that game, United was unlucky and everything too. But you're looking at that now, this is basically what we was talking about last time we had this UCL breakdown. Because United next game is who?
They had to play. They
Could
have
be
to go to
Bayern.
Galatasaray. No, they have to go to Galatasaray next, bro.
Yeah, so and I think Galatasaray no. Well, Copenhagen is an unexpected one that jump in the mix, but Galatasaray and Copenhagen looking at it like, okay, we in good positions, but United, yeah, boy, if United do get some of that Galatasaray game, that's gonna look bad because Copenhagen. I don't know how we don't know how Bayern might come out because Bayern really at this point they don't we're not too sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, boy, that's going to be tough, boy. Honestly, from everything, I'm looking at like Copenhagen is the one that in the mix now that kind of making it a little difficult to call.
Mm-hmm.
But I only feel it the only issue now it plays in is not on me making the call, but on United because now you have two other teams now to worry about, and I really feel out of all three of them, Galatasaray look like the likeliest one to get a second spot. But it also looked like United is the unlikely one to even get our second spot. You see, I
I
really feel
think
might be
United is the
Galatasaray.
most unlucky right now, unlikely right now, you know, which is
Exactly. There's no way to look
Yeah,
at it
that's
that tell
crazy.
me it's swinging in United favor because them putting Copenhagen in this conversation, Copenhagen have this confidence now.
dog
It really seems like it's Galatasaray, Copenhagen,
or
United.
Yeah.
Carl, I want United finish third in it. I don't want them come out in the. I don't want them finish fourth. I
Yeah, I
I
agree.
I want them go in Europa League, man. God, lie about that Thursday night a little bit now, man. Cause it look really
And then
hectic.
bounce up Liverpool, get hit at 7.
And next one, yeah, then go home, though. But I honestly, like, if I speak totally logically, I think the most realistic thing is that United finish last. Like it,
That my thing. I cannot see them with that third.
yeah, like forget talking about second. You know, I think they're gonna go to Galatasaray. I think Zaha gonna eat their food. He gonna score. He gonna take off his jersey. He gonna do the Messi celebration and be like, "You
Yeah,
remember
boy.
this name?" And don't they reject me. You remember this name? Like he do for years at Crystal Palace. Sing them. Gonna go. Bayern gonna obviously beat Copenhagen because even though
Yeah,
they don't qualified, I just think they quality will show because it is in the Allianz Arena as well. And they're gonna
sure, yeah.
be 3 points between the two of them. And Galatasaray just gonna need a draw on the last day to go through above Copenhagen. They will finish second. And United just had the hardest task. They have Galatasaray and they have Bayern to play. And even though it's Bayern at home, I like as in at Old Trafford, like I don't see what difference that make at all.
The Bayern could be on 15 points going into like it could be Bayern on 15,
Yeah.
United on 1. Bayern still going to play full strike against
Yeah,
United.
like no, but no,
Bayern
even if
don't
Bayern
care.
rotate,
They
like
really
like
are.
let me be real, right? Even if Bayern rotate, right, you're looking at Sarah at left back or right back or something, and then you're looking at um Muller is their rotation piece now, and Tell and Chupamoting
Hell,
and
that's good.
Gnabry.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
now you're looking at good players that's still going to play. They're going to lose.
Yeah,
They're going to get washed.
that's tough, boy. That's a tough.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like
boy.
the only scenario where I see United even getting a point and finishing third, could they even finish third with that? I don't think so. Is if they draw at Galatasaray, draw at home. That is the only way. I can't see it any other way.
Well, they have to play seven at the back. That's what they'll have to do.
Yeah. That way.
Yeah,
Like.
boy.
Yeah. So anybody want to go for any surprises or we leaving it there? Anything? No? Can I say
It
though?
looks so straightforward.
There's a very that when we look at how these and when we look at how these groups are shaping up, um there's going to be some very tricky ties at finishing second. Because Galatasaray, we expect to finish second. They're going to be tricky. Napoli going to be tricky. Porto going to be tricky. Leipzig going to be tricky. Whoever come up from the group of that tricky. Feyenoord is tricky. Inter Milan or Real Sociedad will be tricky. Like, I think we are set up for some really nice round of 16 ties, honestly.
For
Yep.
sure.
Yeah.
And I think round of 16 is going to be so unpredictable.
Yeah. Me
Like,
too.
yeah, anything can happen.
Cool. With that being said, guys, we're gonna leave it there. Thank you guys for joining us twice this week. We'll have something for you guys next week as well. And thank you guys for joining. Catch you guys next time. See you soon. Take it easy. Later.